You actually tow that big rig with that F-150? Yes, we do, don't we? So we're going to talk to you about it today, of the things that I have done, and we're going to give you some of the numbers and just be real with you. This is a Real Talk Tuesday. Hey everybody, welcome back to No Ordinary Path. I'm John. Today is a Real Talk Tuesday where we take you through certain questions and things what people ask about and things that we feel like might be informative to you. Today is a special one I'm excited and also a little bit nervous about because we are talking about the F-150. I'm going to say this right off the bat. We tow with the half-ton truck. I know that bothers a lot of people given the size of the trailer that I have. I am not endorsing that you do this. If it was up to me and we had excess funds, I would purchase a bigger truck. The fact of the matter is that me, like I'm sure a lot of other people out there are, can't afford to have one. I still want to be able to live this life, and I still want to make sure that I'm doing it safely. I know I'm probably going to get some people that, regardless of what I say on here, still disagree with me about the safety thing. But here's the fact. I am still within the numbers for towing capacities. Oh, I have come close to maxing those out, to be honest. Again, it's Real Talk Tuesday. So I'm close. When we weighed the trailer, we actually had plenty of room to add stuff to it because Wendy is a ultralight. It's a non-walkable roof. So that makes it more capable for me to tow something like that. It's because she's so light. Some of the other things that we have done will help it tow better, but it does not ever increase the capabilities. I can't make it stronger to tow more. With that out of the way, here are the things that I have done to make it more comfortable, more convenient, and increase the safety a little bit. First, right off the bat, why an F-150? It's a half-ton truck, right? That's what everyone says. Well, here's the scoop, you guys. We had this truck before this whole crazy idea to sell everything we had and move into a travel trailer even occurred. The F-150 was bought and paid for. It was no payments. We had it clear all before this dream ever started. So that's the biggest reason we stuck with this truck. I had it, it was paid off. I didn't want to get another one. I enjoyed not having a car payment on it. This is a 2005 Ford F-150 XLT model. It is the 4x4. It is the Super Crew cab, meaning it's got 4 full-size doors with plenty of room in the back for people. It is it's not a short bed per se, but it is not a long bed by any means, okay? It is geared in 5.73, which I do like. I feel like it's a nice blend between the towing capabilities and the gas mileage. I know I've had a few people ask me why I'm not going down to 410 with it. I like the gas mileage, even though, again, Real Talk Tuesday, guys, it gets anywhere between 6 if I'm unlucky and in the mountains, to 10 if I'm lucky and pulling it on the flats like around here in the Midwest. It is a 5.4 liter V8 Triton, and some of the more number crunchers are going to want these. People ask for them. Gross Vehicle Weight Rating, GVWR, for this truck is 7,200 pounds. The GCVWR, or the Gross Combined Vehicle Weight Rating, is 15,000 pounds. Max trailer weight for this vehicle is 9,200 pounds. So we'll give you the dry specs for Wendy too. We had this truck when we took it to the dealerships when we were looking for a trailer. That was a big thing. I said, hey, we have this truck. We don't want to get rid of it. What are some trailers that are towable with this? We do have these criteria, and if you haven't seen that, check out the video about picking out your rig that we did a long time ago. But that has a little bit to do with also why we kept this truck and why we picked out Wendy, which honestly has worked out so well for us. Okay, let's get into some of the things that I have done to upgrade right off the bat. Let's talk about the inside of the truck first. Well, we got some crazy lighting coming here through the trees, but nevertheless, I wanted to bring you guys inside the truck and show you some of the things that we did on the inside that really made a huge difference in terms of making this more comfortable for me to tow. This is my Pioneer 4200 NEX aftermarket stereo that I had installed in this. I picked out mainly because I wanted the Android Auto. I felt like being able to plug into that, have the larger screen that I could see the Google Maps, because that's what we use for navigation is Google Maps, right there, super handy for us. Now, I know the stereo also works with the iOS platforms, but this gives me all of this stuff right here that I can access. So I can listen to my audiobooks or my music or whatever. But the main thing was Google Maps. It's also hands-free, so I can hit the little microphone button, and there's a mic up top that makes it that way. I love this for that feature. This stereo came with a backup camera equipped. Yes, there's Aaron running away. That's the back of the hitch that you see, and let me zoom it in a little. So this is the back of the hitch, and it's just so nice to be able to see that. Now this camera I can leave on at any given time. I can switch over to it. Even with that Android Auto, I can go back to this view and look at it. So if I just, want to eyeball the trailer as we're going down the road or something like that, I have this capability. Now also, it's unhooked from Windy right now, but when I'm just backing up and lining it up and Chris and I are kind of doing this together, or sometimes Aaron helps me now and we're hooking up, it's super easy to just be able to back right into it. There's the microphone right up there. So yeah, aftermarket. Can be an older vehicle, but you can still have those kind of conveniences. The Furrion backup camera that came with Windy as a package deal when we bought her was oh man, that has been such an essential. I cannot speak enough about it. So this is the Furrion backup camera, one of my #1 recommended essentials. It came with Windy when we bought her. I love it. It is on all the time whenever I tow. It basically functions like my rear view mirror, because in the back, all you see is Windy right behind you. You have the side mirrors, those are great, but this is what gives you the view behind to see if there are people coming up on you, if you're clear in the right lane, if you've just passed a semi or something, and it is on all the time. It does have lines. Let's see if I can turn them on. There you go, for the trailer as well. I just, like I said, I use it as a rear view mirror, so I just generally leave those off. But I have turned them on when I have some tricky backing up to do. Another thing that is super important that I made sure was installed, actually as part of the package deal when we bought the trailer, was the brake controller. And you want to get a good one. I checked on a couple of things. I do like the one that they installed. It may not have been the one that I would have picked on my own, but it's worked great for us. I really like it. It's pretty simple. Let me show you guys. This is the Draw-Tite iStop IQ. It has all the standard stuff that a manual brake controller has. It's got the manual control. Basically, it's telling me NC right now because the trailer's not connected to this. I don't have the truck plugged up. But you can adjust this manually over here with this little knob as far as what you want. I really like this, and what I really like about it is that this is the boost function. B just means standard brakes. It's going to match exactly with the pressure from your brake pads, or from what you're pushing on the pedal. B1 gives a little bit of boost. B2 is like a 25% boost that it squeezes, just real hard when you first push the brakes and then backs off to normal. And then B3 is for like a really heavy load. I like kind of leave it in B2. It works great for us. It's not anything super fancy, but man, it works good, and it is one of those have-to-haves. Have a link to all these things in the description. Oh, and one more thing, guys. While I'm talking about all this stuff and everything we've done to it, I want you to know none of this is sponsored, okay? We are not affiliated with any of this stuff. The affiliate links that you see on the bottom are Amazon. We are an affiliate with Amazon, so the links that we're going to post are affiliated. But as far as these brands and the different things that we talk about on here, we're not sponsored by any of them. So these are just things that we find that work for us and that are awesome. I'm going to go in now to some other things on the outside that we have done. The side mirrors were one of the other things that we replaced right off the bat, and these are just an aftermarket side mirror that literally slips right on over the other ones. They're super easy, and they slide right off. There's the factories, and you can see the difference in the length. The main mirror does not obstruct, and this is still adjustable and still defrost if you have those kind of models. This one has a little bit of adjustment to it, basically just by pushing it in. They do extend out quite a bit, so just remember in parking lots to kind of tuck them back in, and they'll work great for you for a very long time. When we knew we were going to be towing a longer trailer, one that was bigger, one of the main things that I had was the sway. And a lot of people are like, you're pulling a 37-foot trailer. It's a sail. It is a sail. It totally is. And when you're driving down I-70, it does rock. It does. It does. There are a few things that I've done to mitigate that. Number one, the weight distribution hitch is the most important. Getting one that's a weight distribution hitch that has anti-sway. We use the Equalizer hitch. Like it. There's a lot of them out there that do it, you guys. Just make sure you get one that's reputable. One of the other things here are these tires. So there's lots of different kind of truck tires. My thing that I would encourage you to go is if you're pulling a larger trailer is to get something that's E-rated. What that means, E-rated tires have a 10-ply sidewall. So the sidewalls here of the tire are a lot thicker. They don't compress as much and they don't sway like this going down the road. So if this is your tire looking right at it, it doesn't do a whole lot of this kind of stuff when it's going down the road because those sidewalls are stiffer and they handle loads better. We use the Michelin Defenders. They're great tires, you guys, and we use Discount Tire for everything. Super big fans. They're all over the place. I get the warranties. I've had these replaced. I've had nails and stuff in them. They go and they fix them, and if it pops and really gets bad, they just replace the tire. For me, it's that peace of mind. So yeah, E-rated tires, good help. That shiny little piece of metal back here. That is a Bilstein shock, and it is a 5100 series. They are beefy. They are a little on the expensive side as far as shocks go. Man, oh man, did they make such a huge difference. If I compress this between two hands, see how easy that compresses? And then slowly kind of returns to normal. I can pull it out. But I mean, I can compress that shock without having to work on it. Here's the Bilstein. See if I can even do this. Oh, oh boy, yeah, see, I'm pretty strong too, I think. And there it goes. Anyway, so there it goes. But see how slowly it's gone back and how hard that was to compress? That's part of the reason I know those shocks are toast. The shocks in the back are super easy to install. I did it myself. It was awesome, easy. The fronts are a little bit more complicated. Take those to the shop, get that done. You got to take like the axles out. It's a lot more complicated, but highly recommend those. They made a huge difference in the ride quality. All right, one of the most recent things that I have done is installed airbags. And there was much debate on what brands to go with. Do it myself, put an onboard compressor, just leave it manual, there are tons of good brands and stuff out there, guys. This is what I got because it happened to be local and I knew some guys at the shop and we got it done. And it was fast, it was convenient, and I did it mainly because we had a nasty squat problem, and I called it the squatty potty. And it's several of you have already pointed it out in some of the last videos as we were leaving the Pacific Northwest up there in Seattle. So I knew this was going to be an issue. Having said that, I had put the Bilstein 5100 series on, that's the shocks, before that, and that really did make a huge difference. So the airlift, the airbags help a little bit, but honestly, probably could have gotten away with just the shocks now that I've driven it. Just being honest with you guys, those are beefy shocks. So do the airbags help? Yes, they still help. Are they cool? Yes, they're still stinking cool. I love the way it raises it and lowers it and equals it out, especially if I'm going to be running anywhere, because you guys know we do a lot of boondocking, especially if we're running anywhere where the water tanks are going to be a little more full for a while. So here's what I got. This is the Airlift Load Lifter 5000 series. This is kind of their mid-range as far as my understanding. They have a 7500 series as well, and one that's even smaller than this. I gave them all the specs for Windy. I gave them the specs of my truck, and they said, this is what you need. We decided to go with ones that were just manual, so it hooks up to a little PSI. It's a Schrader pump valve that comes out right by the license plate behind the truck, and I can just hook up all sorts of pumps, whatever. I have a nice pump that I use for that, but I've heard people say that you can actually use like a bicycle pump to air it up with. Super big fan of those as well. Why didn't we get the onboard compressor? Because it was another like $1,000 almost with the install fee. Having said that too, I kind of wish I would have installed these myself. I think I could have. It doesn't look that difficult afterwards, but this is my house, you guys, and it's my house. Pulling our house behind us. I don't want to take chances. So this is them right there. That's one of the load lifters hooked right onto the axle. Basically, it's just lifting everything kind of up from it, so it helps balance out the vehicle. What we're gonna do here is I'm going to have all the family get on the back so we kind of compress it down a little bit, because Wendy is totally set up for the boondocking spot right now and we don't want to move her. So we're all gonna get on the back and you'll see kind of it squat a little bit. Now remember, it's got those shocks on it, so it's not gonna squat as much as you might think. So all of us together, I'm not going to say how much we weigh because I value my life. But we're gonna get on there, and then right now the airlift only has about 6 PSI in it. And we're gonna air it up a little bit so you can see kind of how it lifts everything. Okay, now stop bouncing. We're gonna air it up.
We're not going up.
Truck, airing it up.
We're not going up.
We're going up. Beat it. Ha! All right, do you see the difference? That's at 70 PSI. Now, Airlift recommends that you always run at least 5 PSI in the bags just to keep them that way. What you're seeing right now is 70 PSI. The bags can go up to a max of 100 PSI. I've never had it that high. In fact, with Wendy, she runs great at maybe 30, maybe 20. I don't really need a whole lot to level it out. I will say this, because I know somebody's probably going to comment on it. With airbags and a weight distribution hitch, it is important that if you get those installed and you use them and air them up higher, you're going to change the way the weight distribution hitch works. I know that it's in the cards to get checked out really soon. In fact, it'll happen here within the next few weeks. We're gonna get it readjusted. We may even upgrade the whole hitch system a little bit. That may come later though, and I'm sure there'll be a video about it. So with that caveat, the airbags work great. I'm gonna drive around a little bit and give you guys some more footage of them. Well, we've reached the end pretty much. It's twilight now, the light is starting to fade, but I wanted to say thank you guys for being here with us. There's lots and lots of information out there. I will say there's going to be some very strong opinions, and I recognize those opinions because you know what? Behind everyone's opinion, for the most part, in my opinion, is their concern for safety. It's their safety, it's their family's safety, it's our safety, and I do appreciate that. I hope we haven't ruffled any feathers. We are still going to continue to tow Wendy with this truck for a little bit longer, as long as, you know, until I get that permission to upgrade. But in the meantime, it's a very capable rig, you guys. I have towed it across the country twice now, over multiple different mountain ranges, all over the place, and she has done fine as long as I continue to change the oil on time, keep the maintenance and stuff up, and just generally take good care of that truck. It's doing great for us. So last but not least, you guys, thank you for being here. Hit that subscribe button if you are new. We would love to welcome you to the channel. Ring the bell for notifications and give the video a thumbs up if you liked it. Thanks, and we'll see you for the next Real Talk Tuesday.